Pioneer fans, Pioneer Men's Lacrosse is live and on the air. We are live here at Canton High School. It's actually the campus of Plymouth, Canton, and Salem. But Pioneer playing Canton today at the turf field, the main varsity football field. It's been a couple years since we've been here. I think last year we were here was a couple years ago for the playoffs. So good to be back on a nice kind of soggy evening. It looks like hopefully the radar looks like the rain has blown past, and we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope that stays true. But we could get pocket rain. It's nowhere near the deluge we got on the first game versus Novi that the rain just kept on coming. Game time temperature, it's 52 degrees, but like I said, it is a little bit chilly because it is damp out here. The lights are on, as it is a very cloudy spring Michigan day. Taking a look, Pioneer is at this point 1-1 on the season. Before going into spring break, Pioneer won the game versus Novi 15-9, so 6-point win at Hallway Field. That was back on the 23rd of March. Then on the 24th of March, they visited Divine Child. That one was on the NFHS network. That one turned into a double overtime thriller. Pioneer looked to have a goal in the first overtime. It was waved off. I never did quite see exactly why on the broadcast, but they had a goal waved off, and then Divine Child scored in the second overtime for the win, but a hard-fought game between both of those two teams. Pioneer, this is the East Turf Fields, my understanding. Tomorrow, Pioneer will be playing Salem, one of the campus mates here of Canton, and they will be on the West Turf Fields. That game, Salem, is on the NFHS network, so we won't be able to broadcast that game tomorrow. So tune in if you have a subscription to the NFHS network. You can certainly tune in there. We'll be at the Pioneer Women's Lacrosse game, as last time I checked, they're playing Heartland right now over at Hallway Field, the Pioneer ladies. I'll see if I can get a score coming up in just a little bit. But last time I checked, it was 4-0 Heartland. But we all know lacrosse is a game of runs. Taking a look at Canton so far, they are 1-1 as well. They lost their first game. That was at Saline High School over at Horrence Stadium. That was a 10-8 game, so close game, but a win by Saline nonetheless. And then they were over at Skylines. They've been playing the SEC heavily starting off this season. They beat Skyline 10-6. This says that was away at Skyline. Then I have another one that says it was off of the MHSAA. Yeah, that's at Skyline. So, but Canton won that one. So Canton, this is their first home game of the season, and they are 1-1 as well. Both of these teams looking to get on the winning side of 500. Pioneer in the SEC Red Division, as Canton is in the KLAA, Kensington Lake Athletic Association. Really cool if you go out to the Kensington Lake Athletic Association website. They actually have all the rosters out there, which is really, really neat. The SEC has the standings, which is cool, but nice to have all those rosters available to you and ready to go. So not much going on so far that we have taken a look at the game versus Novi and the Wildcats. It started off Novi scored that at 6:41 in the first. Then Liam then Lucas Schaefer scored at 4:59 in the first to tie it up. Novi scored again at 4:34. That was number 15 scoring to get a 2-1 lead. Lucas Schaefer had his second goal of the game, that at 3:22 to tie it up at 2-2. Then at 2:04 was McQueen with a goal that put Pioneer up 3-2. Novi answered back with 56 seconds left to go in the first, tied up 3-3. Then Suter scored with 22 seconds left to go to make it 4-3, and then Lucas Schaefer got the hat trick with 3 seconds left to go, and Pioneer was up 5-3. Then it was a Pioneer goal in the second at 6:47. As that was a goal by Armand Gago, and it looked like it was a assist. I'm not sure exactly who got that one. Then it was a goal at 3:50. Pioneer scored. McQueen got his second goal of the game. That should have made it 6-3. Then 7-3 at 3:04, Pioneer goal, as that was Lucas Schaefer with his fourth goal of the game. Then Pioneer Suter got a goal at 2:28. So that makes it 5, 6, 7, 8-3. Then Novi scored to open up the scoring in the second half at 9:45. It was number 6 with a goal number 2, for a goal for Novi. We never did get a roster. Then it was a Pioneer goal. So at that point, it was 8-4. Pioneer got a goal. Armand Gago with his second goal of the game at 7:10. Then at 9:55, it was a goal by Heatley for Pioneer. Then Pioneer had another goal at 9:28. That was McQueen with his second goal of the game. Northville had a goal at 3:45 to end the 3-game goal streak by Pioneer. Number 2 got a goal again. Then Pioneer scored, as it was Karowski scoring that at 2:10. That was Rosenberg scoring for Pioneer. Then Novi scored as we were coming up about 1 minute, 15 seconds. Number 15 scored. Pioneer had the first 2 goals of the fourth as Lucas Schaefer got his 5th goal of the game. Then it was Cal with a goal at 8:07. Novi scored the last 3 goals at 5:45, 5:11, and 5:55, but Pioneer still able to pull out the win 15-9. So currently for the varsity game, it was Heartland 13 and Pioneer 4 for the ladies game, and then they're in the JV squad game right now, and Heartland has a 1-0 lead. Heartland always a very good team in both lacrosse and hockey, probably many other things as well. But those are the sports that I've seen him pull. As they are announcing and bringing everyone in here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. And national anthem there as we are getting ready to get going here. If you are coming down to the game, bring a towel so you can wipe off the seat. Wonderful aluminum seats here, but you might want to wipe it off and also have a little towel to keep the cool from the seat from getting to you. Now starting off with Pioneer. Cow starting. Suter. McDaniel starting for Pioneer. Armand Gago starting for Pioneer. McQueen starting for Pioneer. Lucas Schaefer starting for Pioneer. Philip Schaefer starting for Pioneer. August Gago starting for Pioneer. Shikachi starting for Pioneer. As I believe it was Denson between the pipes. Alan Keecher is the head coach for Pioneer. On the other side for Canton. Kalahala. As Azarovitz starting. Weiss, Trantum. Don't have everyone in between the pipes. Is Dallas Newman. Sorry, trying to hear the starting lineups for Canton, and I can just take a look out there. It is Porco out there. In to take the face-off is Azarovitz. On the far side is Badger. On the attack is Small. Over on the far side is Charlie Salowich. And centered up is Parker Salowich on the attack. And then I think we got all the defenders. So getting ready to go here. That ball grabbed and trying to bring it together. Coming over as that was Greer. Taking it and flipped it over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer into the attack zone on the far wing. Lucas Schaefer now steps back, waits for substitutions to come on in for Pioneer. Pioneer in their purple jerseys with the gray numbering. Lucas Schaefer writing down the numbers on the far side. Lucas Schaefer back behind the goal. Flag coming. Lucas Schaefer sidearm shot. That knocked away. Save as that goes out of bounds as that is Pioneer ball. And now we'll have the flag. As Pioneer looks to be in a man-up situation. Sarah comes in offside, so 22 has to take a knee as that is Charles Salowich. So Pioneer will be man up. You're only allowed 6 players on the side of midfield at a given time. Flipped over. McQueen gets over. Armand Gago with a shot. That off to the far side. Back behind. McQueen picks it up. McQueen underneath the goal line extended on the far side. McQueen flips it all the way back. Top of the attack zone. That over to Sarah with a shot. Or Sarah, sorry. And Sarah scores. That at the 11:04 mark. Pioneer goal as that was... So indeed that was Sarah who had it. Just want to make sure my eyes did not deceive me. Ayers in to take the face off right at midfield. Is trying to rake that back as that's gathered up. Heading the other way is Porco. Porco coming down the far side. That tipped away. Trying to keep it from going out of bounds. That goes out of bounds over to Pioneer. As Charles Salowich trying to get it on the far side and just couldn't keep it in bounds. It's going to be Pioneer balls. They bring it in on the far sideline. As bringing it ahead. That looks like Suter coming down the far side. Suter trying to get around Charlie Salowich. Coming down the far sideline now. Steps into the attack zone. As Suter comes just inside of the hash marks. There's another flag down, so a delayed penalty coming up to Canton. Pioneer up 1-0 here with 10:25 left to go here in the first. As that flipped all the way back underneath the goal line, extended on the far side. Moved it over. Now Cow has it on the near side. Cow outside the hash marks, flips it back over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer outside the numbers. He comes top of the attack zone. Lucas Schaefer Coming down now towards the goal line extended. Lucas Schaefer goes underneath the goal line extended, goes back behind the goal from the near side to the far side. Now switches directions, comes back. Lucas Schaefer fires it. Armand Gago with a bounce shot. And a good save. Excellent job by Newman to get in front of it. Now that penalty comes into play. As again, the official offsides, again, a 30-second man-up situation, as this time it's Parker Salowich who has to take a knee. So Pioneer will be man up for 30 seconds. They have the 1-0 lead here at 10:55. As that ball, McQueen sends it over to Heatley, top of the attack zone. Heatley flips over. Armand Gago with a sidearm shot. Newman with the save. Newman flips it over at grabbed, and heading down with it is Porco. Porco has it, flips it over on the near side. Heading back underneath is Small. Moves it over on the far wing. Trying to work his way is Krova. Krova over the goal line extended, coming outside the numbers. Krova steps out into midfield area, flips that over to Mustaine. Mustaine between the hash marks, moves it over to Parker Salowich on the near wing. Parker Salowich steps into the attack zone. Parker Salowich between the hash marks, moves it over the far side. Sidearm shot. That was a wicked shot by Krova. Out of bounds. Closest to it is Canton on the shot, so they will keep possession. As bringing ahead is Small. Moves it top as Parker Salowich moves it over on the far side. As coming down, Krova has it between the hash marks. Krova comes from the far side to the near side, flips it over to Parker Salowich. Parker Salowich moves it underneath the goal line extended. That over to Small. Small flips it all the way back up. Krova has it, steps back into the midfield area, now moving it over to Parker Salowich on the near side. Parker Salowich races down the hash marks, trying to make his way inside. Shot! And a save out there by Pioneer, trying to keep an eye on it as they're trying to grab that. That is indeed Denson between the pipes for Pioneer. That flipped back behind by Mustang. Now bringing it, Schmoll has it, cuts to the near side, trying to make his way around the crease as that's knocked away. That is going to go over to Pioneer. 1-0. Pioneer with the lead. 8:16 left to go here in the first. Pioneer fires it ahead. Here comes Armand Gago. Armand Gago comes over midfield. Armand Gago coming down the far hash mark. Steps into the attack zone. Flips it on the far wing to McQueen. McQueen about 10 yards north of the goal line extended. McQueen flips it all the way back to Armand Gago. Just inside the midfield area. About 5 yards outside the attack zone on that far wing. Armand Gago now steps into the attack zone, flips it over. Lucas Schaefer with an underhand shot, and he scores. Lucas Schaefer makes it 2-0. That at 7:49. Lucas Schaefer gets his first goal of the game. He had 5 in the opening game for Pioneer. Pioneer takes the 2-0 lead at 7:49. Now Greer comes out to take the face-off. Zarovitz on the other side as they get set in the face-off position. Both players get their crosses on the ground. Ball set between them. There's the whistle. Trying to work his way. That pulled away as Canton has the ball coming down. Zarovitz coming down outside the far hash marks. Zarovitz into the attack zone, being watched by Rosenberg. Zarovitz spins, kicks it as that's off the tip of the cross, but got it back, moving it over to Schmall. Schmall has it into the near corner, trying to rake it up, and wouldn't quite go, out of bounds. That's going to go over to Pioneers. That ball just wouldn't settle down for Schmall. And here comes Pioneer. That flipped all the way over. Denson has it inside of his own crease. Denson lofts it all the way as that's on the ground past the midfield mark, racing to get it. The ball on the ground. Heatley trying to get it. That kicked back right over on the other side of midfield, raked up by Parker Salowich. Parker Salowich coming down for Canton, moves on the far side. There's a shot. Great save. Excellent save by Denson as that was a point-blank shot by Charles Salowich. Good shot. Now that moved over on the near side as there is a whistle. That goes over to Pioneer. Frustration by Charles Salowich as he kind of bangs his cross on the ground. He had a fantastic shot, but Denson came up with an amazing save. Now Pioneer will have the ball on the near sideline. Armand Gago with it. Armand Gago heads outside of his own defensive zone. Armand Gago coming down the near sideline, steps over midfield. Armand Gago racing between the hash marks. Now Armand Gago into the attack zone. Armand Gago sidearm shot. That one just goes wide. Closest to it is Pioneer. That will be Sayre with it, or excuse me, Cal with it back behind. Cal comes over on the far side. Cal loses his footing. That raked up by Sayre outside the hash marks on the far side. Sayre moves it back to Armand Gago out into the midfield area. That flipped over to Rosenberg. Rosenberg on the near wing. Rosenberg just outside the attack zone. Moves it back over to Armand Gago. Directly between the hash marks, about 9 yards outside of the attack zone. Armand Gago gets at his steam into the attack zone. Spins with it, comes centered up. Now steps back out into the midfield area. Didn't like what he saw, came back resetting it. Flips it over on the far wing, over to Rosenberg. Rosenberg moves it over to Sayre. Sayre on the numbers on the far side. Moves that back over to Cal, directly back behind the goal. Cal spinning with it, trying to get some room to work. Cal now on the end line, comes over on the far side. Cal has it knocked away, trying to get it back, battle for it, trying to rake it up. As sitting right on the end line, that is going to go over to Canton. 5:42 left to go here in the first. Pioneer up 2-0. Canton with the ball as they have it back in their own end. Newman fires it over on the far side as a long stick defender coming ahead with it is Hands. Hands moves that over to Tarantham. Tarantham over on the near side, trying to get it moved over to Nielsen. That knocked away, still battling on the near sideline as Mangut had it. That will go over to Pioneer as Suter will have it on the near sideline. Suter about 5 yards on his own side of midfield, flips that over, now racing. Coming ahead with it is August Gago. August Gago has it between the hash marks. August Gago flips it over to Suter. Suter on the near wing, just inside of midfield. Suter racing between the hash marks, comes down the far hash mark. Suter steps into the attack zone. Suter on the far sideline. Suter flips it about halfway into the attack zone, moving it over to Sayre. Sayre underneath the goal line extended, now comes directly behind the goal. Sayre, it's a screen from Cal. Now that flipped all the way back, top of the attack zone. As Suter moves it over to Heatley. Heatley rakes it up as that was knocked away. Heatley has it. Heatley into the attack zone. Heatley trying to split a pair of defenders. Heatley has it knocked away, rakes it back up on the far wing. Heatley with two Canton players providing pressure. Heatley splits the pair. Side angle shot. That out of bounds. Closest to it is Sayre. That is going to be Pioneer ball. 4:28 left to go here in the first. Pioneer up 2-0. Fired out in front. That knocked down as Newman with it. Newman moves it over on the near side. Coming ahead with it. Here comes the Chiefs as Hans racing down the near sideline. Hans flips it over, trying to get it. That tipped away out of bounds. That will be off of Pioneer. That will stay Canton ball. Canton will have it. Bringing it ahead is Krova. Krova flips it over on the near wing to Schmall. Schmall moves it back on a hop over on the far wing as that's over to Charles Salowich. Charles Salowich all the way back to Krova, top of the attack zone. Krova racing down the hash marks on the far side, trying to get around McDaniel. There's a shot, and that's grabbed by Denson in his crease. Denson looks to his left, now his right, looking for a place to go with it. Denson fires it ahead, that on the ground, trying to rake it up is Canton. Still loose. Armand Gago trying to get to it. And now Dutton trying to pull it away. That grabbed and racing the other direction is Porco. Porco has it, moves it over. That shot deflected. There is a flag coming. Delayed penalty to Pioneer. And Pioneer rakes it up. So now that penalty coming. 3:25 left to go here in the first. Pioneer up 2-0 as that looks like a cross check as Pioneer will be a man down as that is August Gago who takes a knee. Canton with the ball and the extra attacker as that ball in the near corner flipped out as Parker Salowich has it, top of the attack zone. That moved over. That off the tip of the cross, racing to get it is Charles Salowich. Sends it back over. Charles Salowich moves it over to Mustang. Mustang between the hash marks. Moving over to Parker Salowich between the hash marks. That moved over as Charles Salowich trying to get it back underneath. That just goes wide. That will be a Pioneer ball. That was a pass, not a shot. So out of bounds goes over to Pioneer. Pioneer defenseman with the long stick grabs it back behind. Just looking to see if I can get a number as that's flipped ahead to Armand Gago. Armand Gago racing ahead. I believe that was Philip Schaefer. Armand Gago outside of his defensive zone over the midfield stripe. Armand Gago still racing with it, using his body to protect the ball. Steps into the attack zone on the near wing. Armand Gago back into the midfield area. Now right at the restraining line, Armand Gago steps back, gets about 10 yards to work with. Flips that over to Heatley. Heatley just inside the far hash marks into the attack zone. Heatley spins with it. Underhanded shot. That just goes wide to the near side. Sayre closest to it. So Pioneer will keep the ball. Pioneer with the 2-0 lead with 2:27 left to go here in the first. Sayre works his way around the far side of the crease, trying to fire it. That knocked down. Newman trying to get to it. Now he rakes it up. Newman has it for Canton. They fire it all the way ahead. On a hop, trying to get to it. There's a whistle as Pioneer was trying to grab it. That is going to go over to Canton as bringing it ahead is Krova. Krova coming, steps into the attack zone on the far wing. McDaniel watching him. Krova fires it over as that's Charlie Salowich right in between, trying to get over to Parker Salowich. Ground ball on the far side, trying to keep it in is McDaniel. And it's going to stay Canton ball as it went out of bounds. 1 minute, 55 seconds left to go here in the first. It's Parker Salowich who has it on the far, excuse me, it's Krova who has it. Moves it over to Parker Salowich on the near wing, steps inside the attack zone. Parker Salowich between the hash marks. Parker Salowich moving over on the far side. Krova with a shot. That knocked down by Denson. Denson keeping it Pioneer 2 and Canton nothing. Denson looking for a place to go with it. Denson moves it ahead. Armand Gago with it. Armand Gago races over midfield between the hash marks. Armand Gago coming down the far side, trying to work his way around Manga. That shot saved by Newman. Ground ball on the far wing, trying to bring it ahead. Here comes Canton the other direction with it, as that's Tranantham coming down the far wing, as there is a flag over on that far sideline. As clapping on the Canton sideline. 1 minute, 9 seconds left to go. As Canton will be man up, Armand Gago goes to take a knee. So again, head coach for Canton is Dean Hall. Head coach for Pioneer is Alan Keecher. As it looks like an interference call. So it's a technical foul. So Armand Gago taking a knee. Pioneer man down with 1 minute, 9 seconds left to go in the first, as it is Pioneer 2 and Canton nothing. We appreciate you joining us. I know lots of folks, a number of folks made their way over here, but I know it's a bit of a soggy day, so if you couldn't make it out or if it was a little chilly for you, nothing quite as cold as early spring sports games, is there? But we are very grateful for you cheering wherever you are at. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. Over on the defensive side, again, Denson between the pipes for Pioneer, as that looks like Sanuk to follow back on the defensive zone, as well as Shikachi and August Gago back there. Midfielders Philip Schaefer and McDaniel are out there as well. That's your 5 on the defensive side. That moved over. Back underneath the goal line extended. Flip back. Top Parker Salowich moves it between the hash marks. Now that moved over by Mustaine over on the far side as Charlie Salowich comes down. Saved by Denson. Again, Charlie Salowich has had some amazing shots. Denson able to get in the way. Ground ball on the hash marks on the far side, trying to rake it up. Still a battle for it. And coming away with it is Canton as they have that. As that's flip. Mustang has it. Now moves it between the hash marks over to Parker Salowich. In between, there's a shot. Another save by Denson. As that was a great shot by 19. I don't have that on my roster. But coming the other direction. Here comes Pioneer. As 23.9 seconds left to go. That is going to be Canton ball. As they'll bring that ahead. Racing all the way just shy of midfield now on the far hash marks. Racing down. Here comes Charlie Salowich. Moves it back over as that ground ball. Krova has it. Krova steps into the attack zone. Racing down on the near hash marks. 5 seconds left to go. Krova trying to get a shot away. Denson with a save. That comes all the way back. Top of the attack zone. And that will do it for the first quarter action. So at the end of 1, it is Pioneer 2 and Canton nothing. Let's play push on and a quick message from the MHSAA.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
12 minutes up on the clock as we're getting ready to go. As out there. Perfect. So 19 is Amos, forgive me. So that will be, I have him as 16 on there, so that makes sense. So put him as 19. I had 2 16s there, and that doesn't work too well, does it? So we'll fix that and put 19 there. As now, 12 minutes up on the clock. Again, because Pioneer is man down, Augustago taking a knee as it is going to be Canton ball. As again, switching directions now. Coming ahead with it is Mustaine. Mustaine between the hash marks. Mustaine fires over. Parker Salowich into the attack zone. Moves it on the far side over to Schmoll. Schmoll back behind. They have flipped over to Charlie Salowich. Charles Salowich, please. And over on the far wing. Spinning with it. There's a shot and a goal. I think that was Schmoll with the goal. That makes it so Schmoll with a Canton goal. As they're playing, I believe, is that the Ohio State fight song? I believe so. Must be the Canton fight song as well. Here, there, it's a version that sounds very similar to it. Canton now has it within a goal, 2-1. Canton with the ball over. That off the post is coming in. I believe that's probably going to be a crease violation by Charles Salowich, as Charles Salowich racing and ended up in the crease. So Pioneer coming over midfield, coming down. Suter with it into the attack zone on the near wing. Suter flips it just underneath the goal line, extended to Sierre. Now back behind. Cow has it directly behind the goal. Comes over to the far side. Cow outside the far hash marks. Trying to flip it over. There's a shot by Suter. That off the side of the net. Suter comes over to the far wing. Suter, even with the goal line extended, now moves it back behind. Cow has it. Racing, even with the goal on the near wing. Now flips that over to Sayre. Sayre just inside the numbers, about halfway, about 10 yards into the attack zone. Moves it back to Heatley. Heatley between the hash marks. Heatley moves it just inside the attack zone on the far wing. Then Heatley gets it back. Heatley gets a running start, steps into the attack zone. Heatley cuts onto the near hash marks. Now spins, underhand shot. Saved by Newman coming in. There's Suter with a shot that just goes wide. Racing. Sayre closest to it. That will stay Pioneer ball. 10:27 left to go here in the second, as it is Pioneer 2, Canton 1. Shot and a save by Newman. That was a wicked shot by Suter. They quickly cleared the zone, as coming ahead with it is Hands into the attack zone. Moves over on the far side. Picked up by the last goal scorer, which is Small. Over on the far side. Flips it over to Parker Salowich, top of the attack zone. That moved over to Krova. Krova on the numbers, just outside the attack zone on the near wing. Krova racing down the numbers on the near side. Krova steps between the hash marks. Sidearm shot, and he scores. It is now 2-2. As Pioneer had both goals in the first quarter, now both goals in the second quarter are scored by Canton, as that was number 16 on the goal, as Krova. Let's see if I'm pronouncing that right. As Krova with the goal, we're now tied up at 2 apiece with 9:54 left to go before halftime. As we have it set between Ayers, trying to get it. That raked up, racing down. Here comes Canton with it, as Azarovich has it. Shot. That comes Denson. Pulls away, back behind his own cage. Denson sends it ahead. That on the ground. Armand Gago trying to get it, but that raked up by Parker Salowich. Coming down the far wing, Parker Salowich steps into the attack zone, flips that over to Krova. Krova, the last goal scorer, as there's a collision ball on the ground. Still trying to rake it up. Now comes over on the near wing. That raked up by Pioneer, as that is going to go over to Canton. As Snook to follow. Got it, but that's going to be an interference call. Push with possession is the call. 30-second man-up situation. Pioneer going from left to right here in the second period. That flip between the hash marks, as Mustang moves it over on the far wing. Now underneath, Schmoll has it, moves it back behind over to Krova. Krova over on the near side to Charles Salowich. Charles Salowich flips that over to Mustang. Mustang over on the far wing to Parker Salowich. Now back. Charles Salowich has it between the hash marks, top of the attack, so moves it over, as that got knocked down the ground, pulled ahead. Here comes Pioneer, as that's flipped by Sinook to follow over to Denson. Denson steps outside his crease on the far side of the cage. Denson fires it all the way down. Suter trying to get it. That on a hop. And that pulled away, spinning, heading the other direction with it is Weiss. Weiss now fired it ahead, racing, bringing it in is Mustang. Mustang coming down the numbers on the far wing. Mustang trying to get it over to Schmoll. Schmoll knocked down, loose, trying to rake it up Pioneer, but there is a whistle and a timeout call. Nope, it's going to be Sayre is going to have to take a knee. So it looks like a legal substitution call. .23 left to go here in the second. So Rosenberg taking a knee. As Canton man up. Pioneer had 2 goals in the first quarter. Canton with 2 goals here in the second. We're tied up at 2 apiece as a little bit of the sun comes out. Charles Salowich has it between the hash marks right there. String line moves it over. Shot and a score, as that's the second goal by Schmoll, and Canton has the 3-2 lead as they have a 3-goal run here in the second, that at 8:13. So Schmoll with the goal, and that means it is Canton with the lead. They have the goal because Pioneer is still man down. So coming ahead with it, waiting for the whistle. Now bringing it down is Azarovitz. Azarovitz between the hash marks, spins, comes back top of the attack zone, over to Krova. Krova thought about it now between the hash marks, sidearm shot. That one goes wide to the far side. Closest to it is Canton. They will maintain control. 7:57 left to go here before halftime. Canton with the ball. They move it over on the far wing. Parker Salowich sends it underneath the goal line extended. Now that moved over to Charles Salowich directly behind the goal. He gets a screen. Now firing at top of the attack zone. That over to Parker Salowich. Parker Salowich over to Krova. Krova just inside the attack zone on the near hash marks. Krova comes between the hash marks. Takes a check from Greer. There's a shot that just goes wide. Closest to it is Canton as they ran it out. That will stay Canton ball. Bringing it above the goal line extended is Charles Salowich. Now over to Krova. Krova with an overhand shot. That one all the way back to the restrooms, the locker rooms, all the way back. It had a little pepper on it. 7:20 left to go. Again, run out by the Canton, so they are closest to it. Schmoll with it back behind. Schmoll spins right back behind the cage, comes over out in front. There's a push as Rosenberg at it, and that goes over to Pioneer. That might have been a crease violation. Pulling it ahead. Here comes Pioneer racing down. Over midfield, Pioneer still with it, coming in as that's Rosenberg. Rosenberg flips it over. There's a shot and a score. As that was Armand Gago making it 3-3. Armand Gago cutting the goal run by Canton. So Gago assists to Rosenberg on that goal. So Pioneer evens it all up at 3 apiece with 6:59 to go before halftime. As Ayers trying to rake up that ball, still loose. That kick back over towards the Pioneer attack zone. Gathered in, now racing. Here comes Porco. Porco has it, knocked away. Ayers right at midfield as there's a whistle. Timeout. Pioneer will take it with them. How about a message from the MHSAA? You were watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Lacrosse. It is 3-3 with 6:46 left to go before halftime.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
6:46 left to go before halftime. All knotted up at 3 apiece. 2 goals by Pioneer in the first quarter. And then it was 3 goals in a row to start off the second quarter by Canton. Now Pioneer has cut into that, tying it up. As waiting for them to blow the whistle. As their break, Badger comes in. As, there we go. Coming in is Porco. As racing down with it, here comes Suter. Suter into the attack zone, now steps back. Suter It's about 9 yards to work with, just outside of the attack zone. Now flips it over on the far wing. Lucas Schaefer has it just outside the attack zone. Launches it back to Suter, who's about 5 yards inside of midfield. Suter gets a running start. Suter steps into the attack zone between the hash marks. Suter spins with it. Suter flips it over on the near side to Heatley. Heatley on the numbers on the near wing. Now even with the goal is Sayre. Sayre flips it back over to Cal. Cal back behind the goal. Cal comes over to the near side. Underneath the goal line extended. Now Cal in along the end line. Cal coming from the near side to the far side. Flips that over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer on the numbers on the far wing. On a bounce. Gets it over to Armand Gago back in the midfield area. Now over to Suter on the near wing. Suter flips it over to Heatley. Heatley loses it. That raked up. Battle for it. Heatley trying to get to it. Heatley knocks it back. Still battling with it as Sayre gets it up. Sayre just outside to the restraining line. Sayre flips that over. Armand Gago has it. Armand Gago moves it over to Suter. Suter into the attack zone. Now Suter steps back. Suter gets about 5 yards outside the attack zone on the near wing. Gets a screen from Heatley. Suter coming down the numbers. Flips it back over to Heatley. Heatley at the restraining line between the hash marks. Heatley with a shot. That one just goes wide. Closest to it is Pioneer. Cal is going to rake it up. Cal directly behind the goal. Cal comes over underneath the goal line, extended on the far side, over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer loses an edge as he goes down. That pulled down, coming the other direction. Here comes Canton. Canton right over midfield, racing with it his hands. Still has it on the far sideline into the attack zone. It's not easy with that long stick as he's just above the goal line extended. Now moves it back behind, gets that over to Schmoll. Schmoll loses an edge but gets back up. Flips it over to Charles Salowich. Charles Salowich over the goal line extended, trying to fire it out in front. There is a whistle. And it looks like it's going to stay Canton ball with 4:50 left to go. All knotted up at 3 apiece. That flipped over to Krova. Krova with a shot that goes just high all the way back through the soccer goal and goes all the way back just underneath the scoreboard. You have to go searching for a couple balls along that fence at halftime. As they rake it up on the far wing is Small. Small underneath the goal line extended, comes in along the end line. Small goes from the far side. Now stops directly behind the goal. Small flips it over. Charles Salowich on the numbers, comes even with the goal, flips that out as Mustaine between the hash marks into the midfield area. Mustaine moves it over on the far wing. That knocked down ball, ground ball, trying to get it. Armand Gago raking away, as well as Suter, still loose. Now here comes Armand Gago. Armand Gago on the numbers on the far wing. Armand Gago flips it over to Suter. Suter on a bounce, that knocked away. Canton has it, coming in with it as that was Amos with it, still loose. Now Armand Gago gets it back. Armand Gago launches it, trying to get it to Suter. That knocked away. Coming the other direction is Krova. Krova into the attack zone, coming down the numbers on the far side. Krova comes even with the goal on that far side, now heads back towards the attack. The restraining line. Moved that back over to Mustaine. Mustaine gets about 9 yards to work with in the midfield area, calling out signals. Now Mustang gets a running start. Racing down on the far side, flips that over even with the goal on the far side, trying to get to it. Spinning with it is Small. Small loses it. Ground ball. Battle with it. Canton trying to get it. Still trying to rake it up. Down over there, Amos trying to pull it away. Still battling. Now that raked up as Krova had it. Now that moved over. Excuse me, that was Amos. Krova with a bounce shot. That's saved. Coming ahead with it, Denson gets it over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago over midfield, moves it on the far wing. There's a sidearm shot and a goal by Lucas Schaefer. And Pioneer takes back the lead 4-3. That at the 3:12 mark. Armand Gago gets the assist. As Pioneer with the 4-3 lead, 3:12 left to go here before halftime. 2-goal run now for Pioneer as Greer in to take the face off for Pioneer. Both players leaning over and trying to get that raked up. grabbed by Rosenberg. Rosenberg for Pioneer comes over midfield. Rosenberg racing outside the numbers on the near sideline into the attack zone. Rosenberg spins with it. Rosenberg down on the ground, loses the ball, trying to get it. Ground ball, that popped up, coming the other direction. Here comes Canton. Canton with it, as that's Contos with it. Contos fires it ahead. That pulled down by Porco. Porco comes over the into the attack zone. Porco trying to fire it over to Charles Salowich, and that cranked up by Denson. Denson in his own crease. Denson looks to his left, looking for a place to go with it. Denson, 2:36 left to go before halftime. Pioneer up, gets it on a bounce over to Suter. Suter racing down into the attack zone. Suter flips it over on the far wing, over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer spinning with it on the hash marks. Lucas Schaefer comes back to the restraining line, steps back into the midfield area. Lucas Schaefer gets a little room to work. Lucas Schaefer it's about 8 yards outside the attack zone. Now comes over on the near hash marks. Lucas Schaefer calls out signals. Flips that over on the near wing over to Sayre. Sayre, even with the goal line extended, flips it back over to Cow. Cow in along the end line, back behind the goal. Now Cow comes over to the far side. Cow spinning with it, trying to come on the far hash marks. Cow all the way out by the numbers, even with the goal now above the goal line extended. Cow heads back into the midfield area. Cow still with it. He has about 8 yards to work with outside the attack zone. Now Cow running start. Starter steps into the attack zone. Shot! That tipped down out in front trying to get it, as bringing it away is Heatley on the near wing. Heatley raking up the ground ball. Heatley kicks that all the way back. Delayed penalty as there's a flag on the field. That moved over to Suter. Suter with a bounce shot. That just comes to the near side. Closest to it is Cow. That will stay Pioneer ball, and now the penalty comes into play. Slash. So there will be a 1 minute man up situation for Pioneer as they have the 4-3 lead, looking to extend that lead with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go before halftime. So Pioneer man up is bringing it ahead is McQueen. McQueen moves it over to Cow, back behind the Canton goal. Cow flips that over on the far wing. There's a shot by Lucas Schaefer. That just tips away and heads back. As coming ahead, Pioneer has it, even with the goal on the near wing. That flip back, top of the attack zone. Armand Gago with the shot. McQueen closest to it. 1 minute left to go. 4-3, Pioneer with the lead. Less than a minute left to go here in the second quarter. Bringing it down, Cow has it. Even with the goal line extended, moves that back over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer flips it over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago, there is Suter with a shot that pulled down on the near wing by McQueen. McQueen just underneath the goal line extended, fires it over to Sayre. That ball got away from him, coming ahead with it. Here comes Canton, racing down. Porco with it. Porco comes down out just outside the number, steps into the attack zone. Porco fires it over as Parker Salowich trying to get to it. That knocked down, knocked away. Good defensive play over there by August Gago, but a whistle. And that looks like a cross check on Pioneer with 25 seconds left to go. Is coming over to take a knee. Two. It'll be two-man up. Or no, it looks like it's just Armand Gago. I swear they called out two. Oh, there are only 4 players on the defensive side, so it should be 2. Just over there. Suter just not on knee. That comes away. That flipped back, coming ahead. Charles Salowich over on the far side. That shot just wide. Grova closest to it. 9.6 seconds left to go before halftime. Now that brought in by Canton. They flip it back. Charles Salowich outside the numbers on the near wing. 2 seconds left to go. Charles Salowich flips that over, and that will do it as we are at halftime. So at halftime, it is Pioneer 4 and Canton 3. As we take a look at the scoring, it started off in the first as it was a score by Sayre. for Pioneer at 11:04. Then Lucas Schaefer scored at 7:49 for Pioneer to have the 2-0 lead heading into the second. Then Canton had 3 goals. Started off at 11:36 as Schmoll put it in. Then at 9:54, it was a goal by Krova, and then Schmoll got his second goal of the game at 8:13. So that made it 3-2. Pioneer answered back with 2 goals of their own before halftime at 6:53. It was Armand Gago, set up by Rosenberg, that at 6:59. And then at 3:12, it was Lucas Schaefer with his second goal of the game, Armand Gago with the assist. So we will step away, play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be back with second half action.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're coming to the end of halftime, it is 4-3 Pioneer with the lead. 2 goals in the first quarter for Pioneer, then a 3-goal run by Canton to start off the second. Pioneer finished off the second with a 2-goal run of their own to take the 1-goal lead. Pioneer will be back over this way. This is the East Turf, I believe. fields, and they'll be on the West Turf fields tomorrow versus Salem. Again, that game will be on the NFHS network, so we won't be able to broadcast that one. We will have the Pioneer women's game, though, live from Hallway Field tomorrow. But you can check out the Pioneer men's game from the NFHS network. Then Pioneer will be back in action after that on the 18th over at Hallway Field, hosting Ann Arbor Huron. As in Pioneer going from rough to right here in this third period as that's Gear trying to rake it away. Canton gets it, bringing it ahead as that is Mustang with it. Mustang steps into the attack zone on the far wing. Now comes between the hash marks in that midfield area. Mustang flips it over to Krova. Krova now over on the far wing over to Charles Salowich. Charles Salowich flips that back over. Now Parker Salowich has it right at the restraining line between the hash marks. Moves over to Charles Salowich. That off the tip of his cross, racing to get it. Here comes Philip Schaefer. Philip Schaefer sidearms it over to McDaniel. McDaniel, the long cross, gets over midfield. McDaniel racing down outside the numbers on the far side. McDaniel coming down. McDaniel flips that over. Even with the goal now underneath the goal line extended on the far wing. Pioneer on a bounce back over to Lucas Schaefer. And the ball won't settle down for him as he's having an issue raking it up. Lucas Schaefer still trying to battle with it. And tipped away. Lucas Schaefer trying to get it over as that's pulled up. Coming over midfield is Canton, still on the ground. Boy, that ball just won't settle down for anyone over there. That's skied right back over to midfield. Bringing it ahead is Armand Gago. Armand Gago between the hash marks. Armand Gago now in on the numbers, steps inside the attack zone, now steps back out into midfield area on the near wing. Armand Gago comes between the hash marks as he fires. That one Joe's just wide. Closest to it is Sayre, who has it back behind underneath the goal line extended. Sayre coming, now flips it over to Suter. Suter coming down the far wing. Suter loses it, but gets it back. There's a delayed penalty coming up to Canton as Heatley takes it in the midfield area on the far wing. Heatley flips that over on the near wing to Lucas Schaefer with a underhand rising shot. That goes all the way back over to the locker rooms. That should bring the flag into play now, as Cow will bring it in. They still have the flag moving over on that far wing. So now Cow has it. Slash on, that will be Trentham, who will take a knee for Canton. So Pioneer man up as they take care of that. Now Pioneer with it. Lucas Schaefer moves it between the hash marks to Armand Gago, right the restraining line. He flips that over on the far wing to Heatley, back over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago back over to Heatley, outside the far hash marks. Heatley right the restraining line, back over to Armand Gago between the hash marks over Suter with an underhand shot. Great save by Newman. Newman has it. Cal right in front of him. Newman flips it over on the near wing. Now back over to Newman. Newman just outside of his crease, flips around as McQueen trying to knock it away from him. As Newman fires it ahead, that rolls out of bounds, will go over Pioneer's way. As the Canton coach, as it's over on the 20 on the Pioneer side of the field, racing down on the far wing is Philip Schaefer. Philip Schaefer over to Armand Gago. Moves over the 50-yard line. Armand Gago over to Suter on the near wing. Suter steps into the attack zone. Now skies it, trying to get over to Heatley. That knocked down by a long stick out in front, as that was Porco who got it. Still on the ground, now raked up by Canton as they fire it over. Newman with it back behind his own goal. Newman fires it ahead on a bounce. That raked up by Badger. Badger spinning with it. Badger racing down the numbers on the near wing into the attack zone. Badger flips it back behind. That just over the cross and out of bounds as Schmoll trying to grab it. Couldn't quite get to it. That will go over to Pioneer as Denson racing down between the hash marks. Denson flips it ahead. Now here comes Suter. Suter coming down the far hash mark, steps into the attack zone. Suter with a shot. That's saved by Newman. Out of bounds, closest to it is Cow. Good goaltending by both of these goaltenders. As that's flipped over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer moves it over to Armand Gago. Moved over to Heatley on the far hash marks. Underneath there's Suter with a bounce shot. As that hit about just in front of the goal line and bounced in. Good shot by Suter, and that makes it Pioneer 5 and Canton 3. That at the 8:32 mark. Was that Hraboski? I thought that was Suter, but maybe I'm wrong. No, it was Suter. The gray numbers look amazing on the purple jerseys, but I'm using some binoculars because it's hard to see the definition on them. So tough for the public address announcer there. Ayers in to take the face off. As that's picked up, and coming ahead with it is Azarovich. Azarovich moves it over on the near wing, trying to rake it up before it goes out of bounds, and that will be Pioneer ball. Is trying to get it over to Schmoll and just couldn't get it. Shikachi has it. Shikachi moves it over to Denzin. Denzin racing between the hash marks. Denzin looking for a place to go with it for Pioneer. Denzin heading all the way. Denzin now moves it ahead, trying to get to Armand Gago. That ground ball over just outside of the attack zone. That rolls back towards midfield as rolling it back, trying to get it. Armand Gago now has it. Armand Gago outside the numbers, steps into the attack zone on the far wing. Armand Gago flips it back to Suter. Suter that loses over midfield. Suter trying to get it. That's going to be over and back, and that will go over to Canton. Bringing it ahead. Here comes Mustaine. Mustaine between the hash marks into the attack zone. Mustaine has it as it's 7:53 left to go here in the third. As McDaniel in to try and watch it. That flipped over even with the goal on the near wing. Moved by Schmoll over on the far wing. As Charles Salowich has it just underneath the goal line extended. Trying to make his way. Shot. And Charles Salowich with the goal. As that is his first goal. He has had some really, really good. He's had some really good shots, but Zenzen has made some fantastic saves. Finally, Charles Salowich gets it in. It's now a one-goal game, Pioneer 5 and Canton 4, as that stops a three-goal run by Pioneer. Greer in to take the face-off on the other side. That's Azarovich. As that whistle, legal procedure, that goes over to Canton. Azarovich brings it ahead as he comes into the attack zone, racing down the far hash mark. Shot, and it goes in. Oh, Denzin thought he had it, but Canton ties it up. 10 seconds later, Azarovich. All knotted up at 5 apiece. Face off right at the X, right at midfield. Zarovich, the last goal scorer against Ayers. Trying to rake it up, that on the near between the hash marks. Just outside of the Pioneer defensive zone, there's a whistle, and that goes over to Pioneer. Legal procedure. So now Pioneer with the ball as they start their attack. Racing the other direction is Churchill. Churchill just inside the numbers, steps inside the attack zone on the far wing. Churchill now flips it over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago outside the far hash marks as he's about 7 yards outside of the attack zone on that far wing. Armand Gago spinning with it. Back into the attack zone. Moves that over. Sierra has it. Sierra moves it back over to Cow. Cow in along the end line. Cow directly behind the goal. Now cuts, spins, comes to the near side. Cow comes over the goal line extended, moves it back to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer top of the attack zone between the hash marks. Lucas Schaefer racing down on the near wing. Lucas Schaefer cuts in. Lucas Schaefer with a shot. Oh, that just misses to the far side. Cow closest to it. And they're going to say it's Canton ball. I wonder if Lucas Schaefer stepped inside the crease. Moving pick. As that is going to go over to Pioneer on a moving pick. Lucas Schaefer has it on the near sideline, about 5 yards inside of the attack zone. Racing in is Watkins on the defensive zone. That moved over to Armand Gago on the numbers, about 5 yards outside the attack zone on the near wing. 6:09 left to go here in the third. We're all knotted up at 5 apiece. 2-goal run by Canton is they're working on now. Pioneer trying to cut off that goal run. Armand Gago gets a little room to work, steps 10 yards outside of the attack zone, now spins. Armand Gago has that knocked away, rakes it back up. Armand Gago comes between the hash marks. Armand Gago. He has Suter to his left. That ball knocked out. Armand Gago rakes it up, now racing down the numbers on the far wing. Armand Gago. Sidearm shot that goes wide. Closest to it is Cal. That's going to stay Pioneer ball with 5:46 left to go. Here in the third, Cal rakes it up in the far corner. There's the whistle. Cal directly behind the goal. Comes from the far side to the near side. Cal now cuts to the far side, looking to get a little room to work. Cal over the goal line extended. Cal flips it back into the attack zone. Suter has it on the far wing. Suter now moves it over to Heatley. Heatley racing down the hash marks. Heatley with the shot. That got deflected out in front by a defender. Round ball trying to rake it up. There's Armand Gago with the shot. Saved by Newman. Oh my. I don't know how he saw that coming. Armand Gago raked it up and immediately underhand shot. That trying to go ahead over midfield as a battle for it. That is going to stay Canton ball. As bringing ahead is Watkins. Here comes Mustaine. Mustaine gets it. Top of the attack zone on the far wing. Mustaine. Now between the hash marks, just inside the attack zone. Mustaine trying to work his way. Has it knocked away. Gets it back. Mustaine on the near hash marks now. Shot. Denson with the save. "30-second delay a game call against Pioneers. Suter will take a knee. Canton has the extra attacker. 4:44 left to go here in the third. There's the whistle. Krova sends it back. Top of the attack zone. That moved over. Now on the near side, Schmoll has it. Schmoll sends it right back behind and gets it back. Schmoll, that off the tip of his cross, racing to get it, rakes it up on the near sideline. As that moved over, coming ahead with it is Amos. Amos on the far wing, flips that over. Now Krova trying to fire it. Shot that just wide. Denza got a piece of it, racing out. As closest to it is Sanook to follow. That will be Pioneer ball. Sanook to follow, fires it ahead. Coming down on the far side, August Gago. Racing down on the far sideline into the attack zone. August Gago stops there, looks for a place to go with it. There is a whistle. Timeout called by Pioneer. We'll take it with them. How about a message from the MHSAA? .403 left to go here in the third. All knotted up at 5 apiece. Pioneer started off the scoring in this half with a Suter goal at 8:32. Then 2 Canton goals. The first was by Charles Salowich at 7:19. Then 10 seconds later, it was Zerovich with the goal. And that's where we stand. 5-5 with 4:03 left. Pioneer called the timeout. They have the ball. They're getting instructions. Pioneer in their road purple jerseys, purple top, purple shorts, numbers in gray on the back and on the front. Pioneer in block lettering across the front. Canton in their home white jerseys with the white top, white bottom. Numbers in red on the front and on the back. And Leave Chiefs across the front in block lettering. Both teams break the huddle. Your attackers for Pioneer remain Lucas Schaefer, Sayre, and Cal. Midfield is Heatley, Armand Gago, and Suter. On the defensive side, it is Shikachi, August Gago, and Philip Schaefer. As Armand Gago has it on the far wing, racing down the numbers, steps into the attack zone. He flips that even with goal on the far side over to Sayre. Sayre moves it back over to Cal. Cal in along the end line. Right back behind the goal, comes over to the near side. That over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer on the numbers, flips it into the midfield area, over to Suter. Suter between the hash marks. Suter races in, cuts into the attack zone. Now steps back, past the restraining line, back into the midfield area. Suter rebuffed. He moves it over on the near wing, over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer comes between the hash marks, moves it over to Heatley on the far wing. Heatley, top of the attack zone, coming down the numbers, moves that over to Sayre. Sayre coming back behind Sayre, comes over the goal line extended on that far wing, gets it over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago just outside the hash marks, back over to Suter in the midfield area. Suter between the hash marks. Suter moves it over on the near wing, and over to Lucas Schaefer, back over to Suter. Suter about 5 yards outside the attack zone, cuts to the left. Suter racing in. As Suter fires it over on the far side, got it over to Armand Gago. That went just a little wide. Pioneer has it as Cal. Closest to it, he ran it out. 3:03 left to go here in the third. Cal back behind, spins with it. Cal outside the hash marks, comes up to the goal line extended, now moves it over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer spinning as he's cradling the rock, comes over. Now racing down the numbers into the attack zone. Lucas Schaefer spinning, trying to get around. He's blocked off. Now splits a pair of defenders. That knocked away. Cal trying to get it before it goes out of bounds. He has it, but he slips out of bounds, and that goes over to the Chiefs. Racing down the other way, here comes the Chiefs with it, as that's Hands with it. And fired ahead. Now on the numbers, that moved over by Porco. Now coming down with it, there's a whistle. As Manget got it, that goes over to timeout by the Canton. Let's play a message here, and we'll be right back.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
2:21 left to go here before the third. 5-5 is our scores. They announced the 50-50 here. A few people in the stands brave the weather and the cool temperatures, as it is 46 degrees, so it's dropped about 6 degrees from the game start, although we actually do have some sun now, so a lot of the crowds have broken. We have some blue skies up above the field, which is fantastic. It is Canton ball right at the 40-yard line, as that is coming ahead with it on the near wing is Amos. Amos flips it over to Small. Small back over to Charles Salowich. Charles Salowich flips it over to Krova. Krova all the way back on the far wing. Outside of the attack zone is Amos. Amos comes over just inside the near hash marks. Now on the near wing, racing down. Flips that right back behind the goal over to Charles Salowich. Charles Salowich working against August Gago. Flipping over the near side to Small. That popped up, bouncing as grabbed by Denzin. August Gago trying to get it over to him, and they call Chiefs ball. I have no idea why. That coming over on the near wing. As that's Charles Salowich with it, sends it back top of the attack zone over to Parker Salowich, trying to work his way in is Krova. Krova flips it over. There's a shot by Parker Salowich, and just over to the near side, closest to it is Charles Salowich. He'll have it in the far corner. August Gago comes out to watch him. Charles Salowich just underneath the goal line extended now, flips it over to Parker. Salwich, Parker Salwich shoots and scores. That gives Canton the lead as it's now a 3-goal run by Canton. As that at 1:33. As Parker Salwich with the goal, the assist to Charles Salwich. As Ayers in to take the draw. On the other side is Azarovitz. Ball set as they're in the face-off position and spinning. That kick back over, raked up, now knocked away. Here comes Pioneer. Heatley with it. Heatley double team now trying to work his way around it. Heatley has a trio of players now that knocked down, still trying to rake it up. Coming back with it is Wise. Fires it ahead. Now coming ahead with it, Badger over midfield. Badger gets that over, racing down with it is Mustang. That flip back, that was Azarovitz with it. Now Mustang has it. Steps into the attack zone. Mustang on the near hash mark, steps back into the midfield area. Waiting for substitutions to come in. Is racing in is Granulo. As top of the attack zone on the far wing is Krova. Krova gets a screen, comes. That's a sidearm shot that goes wide, just to the near side. Closest to it is Small. 6-5. It is Canton with the lead. Canton with the ball. They move it over on the near wing to Parker Salwich. Parker Salwich trying to spin with it, trying to get inside. He's rebuffed, comes back top of the attack zone. Flips that over. There's a shot and a goal by Mustang. Mustang makes it a 2-goal lead by Canton. That at 24 seconds left to go. That makes it 7-5. Canton with the lead and a 4-goal run. Pioneer looking to get big face-off here. Greer comes in for the face-off versus Azarovitz. Azarovitz has been very good so far today. Pioneer would love to get the next goal. Try and cut it down to a 1-goal lead. Canton would love to pour it on and try and deflate Pioneer. Ball set between, trying to spin. Greer trying to move it back. And that'll be a hold on Canton. That will be Pioneer ball as that is raked up, coming down. Churchill has it. Churchill comes into the attack zone outside the hash mark. Slips it over to Sierra. Sierra spins with it about 5 yards underneath the goal line extended. Sierra flips that back, top of the attack zone. Now Churchill has it back over to Sierra, even with the goal line on the far wing. Sierra coming up, and that will do it for the third. At the end of 3, it is Canton 7, Pioneer 5. Let's play a quick bit of push on, get you fired up, get Pioneer fired up, get everybody fired up for the fourth quarter. It is 7-5, Canton with the lead. 12 minutes up on the clock coming into the fourth. As Sarah had it back on the far side, but just not enough time to make something happen. As Hang On Sloopy being played. Boy, a lot of Ohio State music. I'm pretty darn sure that's the Ohio State fight song that Canton's using, and then a little Hang On Sloopy here. So those of us from the Ann Arbor area might not appreciate the music, but the Canton faithful are jamming to it, so that's excellent. As Canton has broken the huddle. As on the defensive side, they have Weiss, Hands, and Trantham. Pioneer on that attack side is Lucas Schaefer, and Cow. Ayers in to take the face-off. On the far wing is Armand Gago. On the near wing is Sanook to follow. On the far wing is Porco for Canton. On the near wing, Contos. As that popped up, grab, spinning with it, is trying to get it away. Is Zazarovitz. As Zazarovitz has it just outside of the attack zone. That knocked down on the ground. Popped up high. Grab now racing. Parker Salowich has it on the near wing. As that is going to be offsides and over to Pioneer. Pioneer ball with 11:43. Pioneer down 2 scores as it's 7-5. Canton with the lead. Racing down. Armand Gago gets it over to Suter. Suter on the near sideline into the attack zone. Suter about 4 yards into the attack zone, moves it over. That over to Sayre. Sayre has it. Comes above the goal line extended. There's a shot that just goes wide. Closest to it is Cal. There's a delayed penalty as well that was thrown, so Pioneer should be man up on a slash. That'll be a minute infraction, so Pioneer will have the extra attacker. As that's going to be Trantham who gets the infraction, so he'll take a knee. Pioneer man up with 11:22, down by 2 goals. Sayre has it even with the goal on the far wing. Now coming over at kickback. Lucas Schaefer, top of the attack zone, flips it over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago right through a straining line. Over to Heatley on the near wing. Heatley flips it back over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago underneath. That shot by Suter just goes to the near side. Closest to it is McQueen. Pioneer maintains possession. McQueen will rake it up. McQueen in along the end line, underneath the goal line extended. McQueen now heads, flips it over to Cow. Cow just on the far hash marks underneath the goal line extended. That over. Shot by Armand Gago. Saved by Newman. And down to his knees to grab it. That flipped over. Here comes Canton with the 2-goal lead. Racing down on the far sidelines. As there's a yard sale. As hand stick goes flying. And that's going to be Pioneer ball. As August Gago has Armand come over to get it. Pioneer ball just on the other side of midfield. Now Armand Gago coming down the far sidelines. Armand Gago 5 yards outside the attack zone. Now Armand Gago flips it over to Heatley. Heatley with a shot that's saved by Newman. Snagged it out of air. Newman fires it over on the far wing, racing down. That's sent ahead by Hand. Hand gets ahead to Weiss. Weiss into the attack zone. Weiss moving it over as that was a shot by Parker Salowich. That went just the near side. Closest to it over there was Charles Salowich, so that will stay Canton ball. 10-15 left to go here in the fourth. Canton with the 2-goal lead, 7-5. Top of the attack zone. Mustaine has it between the hash marks, 5 yards outside the attack zone. Mustaine back on the far hash marks. Mustaine now racing down the far hash marks into the attack zone. Shot. And a save by Denson. Denson with it as he comes ahead, launches it. That grabbed, racing down. Here comes Rosenberg. Rosenberg just outside the number, steps into the attack zone. Now Rosenberg steps back into the midfield area. Flips that over and to Armand Gago. Armand Gago sees Suter to his left. Now to his right is Churchill. Flips it over to Suter on the far hash marks, just outside the attack zone. Over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer moves into the far corner for Cal. Back over to Lucas Schaefer on the far wing. Now back over to Suter. Suter comes between the hash marks, just 5 yards outside the attack zone. Suter steps into the attack zone. Suter flips it over. That knocked away. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Canton. That's Trenton with it. That fired ahead over to Mustang. Knocked away. Here comes Churchill. Churchill racing down. Flips that over on the far wing. Churchill over to Lucas Schaefer. Over to Mongago. Top of the attack zone. Now they moved over to Suter on the near wing. Suter gets it over to Sayre. Now back over to Suter. Top of the attack zone on the near wing. Suter just outside the hash marks on the near wing, gets a little room to work over to Armand Gago, who's about 10 yards outside of the attack zone, calling out signals as he sends Suter into the attack zone. Now Armand Gago getting a running start, cuts between the hash marks. Armand Gago firing it, and deflected up high into the air. Closest to it was Sayre. 8:30 left to go. Pioneer down by 2 with the ball. Sayre has it in along the end line. Sayre cuts on the near side, over the goal line extended. Sayre on the hash marks on the near wing, now flips it back, top of the attack zone, over to Suter. Suter steps back into the midfield area. Suter flips that over on the near wing, over to Sayre. Sayre looks to his left, now comes back, top of the attack zone. Sayre switches, running down the numbers, moves it back behind, over to Cow. Cow underneath the goal line extended. Cow coming down the end line. Cow cuts towards the goal line extended, trying to work his way above. He takes a heavy check. Ball on the ground, trying to rake it up. As that grab, Suter with a shot that just wide. As the official's going to talk things over, 7:44 left to go here in the fourth, as there's a flag sitting in the midfield area as the officials are going to talk things over. As both coaches looking on, trying to see what the decision will be as the officials talking it over. They have the call now. 2 flags down, by the way. Badger got both a cross-check and an unnecessary roughness for... That will be 1 minute for each of those, so he'll be taking a knee for 2 minutes, 7:44 left to go. Pioneer man up as they'll keep the ball. So down 1 player for 2 minutes is Canton. Pioneer with it, I believe that's Cow with it in the far corner. Underneath the goal line extended. Now Cow coming down the end line, directly behind, fires it out. That intercepted. Here comes Canton the other direction as that's Porco with it. That popped up high in the air, trying to race down. Fired ahead by hand. That is going to go out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball. But Pioneer will have to clear the zone as racing down on the far sideline. Pioneer coming ahead with it as that's Shikachi with it. He takes a hit. That ball knocked down. Canton with it. Now between the hash marks, racing over. Parker Salowich has it. Parker Salowich on the number, steps into the attack zone. Canton with the ball, down 1 player, but they are up 2 scores on the scoreboard, and they have in the Pioneer zone. On the far wing, that brought ahead by Small now, top of the attack zone. That flipped over to Krova. Krova gets some room to work as he comes over on the near wing, about 10 yards outside the attack zone. Suter trying to separate him from the ball. As there's a flag on Pioneer. Krova steps in, coming between the hash marks. Krova still with it as Canton trying to kill some time, trying to get back to full strength now. Krova just outside of the attack zone, still in that midfield area. That ball knocked away, and another flag comes in. There's 3 flags on the ground. The Canton faithful are happy. Two holding calls against Pioneer. So 30 seconds apiece. That will give for 30 seconds. Canton will be man up with 6:29 left to go. And Pioneer will have the remainder of the 2-minute infraction. So after 30 seconds, Pioneer will go back man up. Canton with the ball. As they have it, Mustaine has it just outside of the attack zone. About 6 yards outside the attack zone. Excuse me, that flipped back over to Mustaine. Now Mustaine over to Parker Salowich. That lost on the ground, raked up. Coming ahead with it is Philip Schaefer. Philip Schaefer flips it back to Denson. Denson back behind his cage. Denson looking for a place to go with it on the far side. Now Denson coming down the hash marks. He sidearms it all the way down. And on a hop, trying to race to get it. Pioneer trying to keep it in bounds. That out of bounds. As that will be Canton ball. Pioneer trying to get to it before it went out of bounds, but Lucas Schaefer just couldn't get to it. So that's going to flip ahead with it. Canton has it on the numbers on the far side as Contos comes away with it. Contos with some pressure on his own side of midfield. Contos fires it ahead. That chipped away. Cow trying to get to it. That pulled away. Still coming away. Here comes Canton as there's a yard sale as a stick on the ground coming on the far wing. Canton steps into the attack zone. That's Parker Salowich with it. Moves it over to Krova. Krova between the hash marks. 5:32 left to go. 7-5. Canton with the lead. Both teams back to full strength now. Krova on the near wing, about 5 yards outside of the attack zone. Krova steps into the attack zone on the numbers now on the near wing. Krova trying to come between the hash marks back in the midfield area. Krova working against Armand Gago. There's a shot from the far wing, knocked down. Here comes Pioneer. Armand Gago takes a couple heavy hits. That's going to be a flag that flies. Pioneer brings it ahead. Here comes coming down on the far wing is August Gago. And that flipped over, but another flag flies as that moved over to McDaniels. .4:55 left to go here in the fourth. 7-5. Canton with the lead. Two 30-second penalties on Canton, one to hold, one offsides. So Pioneer will be two-man up for 30 seconds at 4:55. As I believe that's Armand Gago, who rakes it up. Armand Gago has it about 10 yards outside the attack zone on the near hash marks. 4:55 left to go. Armand Gago flips it over to Suter. Suter steps into the attack zone, moves over to Lucas Schaefer, back over to Suter. Suter back over to Lucas Schaefer on the far wing. Now back over to Armand Gago at the top of the attack zone. There's a shot and score by Armand Gago. Pioneer cuts it to a one-goal lead as a rocket shot by Armand Gago from the top of the attack zone. And at 4:42, Pioneer down by one, 7-6. It's been a back and forth game here. Pioneer has it down to a one-goal game. Canton with the lead. Huge face-off here as Zazerovich has been very good in the face-off circle. Greer in there for Pioneer. As the ball set right between at the X. There's the whistle spinning with it. Azarovich rakes it up. Azarovich coming down the near hash marks into the attack zone. Azarovich has that knocked away as his cross on the ground popped up high in the air. Still a ground ball trying to get to it. Now that pulled away as Pioneer has it over to Denson. Denson has it in his own cage. Denson looking for a place to go with it. 4:19 left to go. Pioneer needs to clear the zone as Denson flips ahead to Armand Gago. That off the tip of his cross. Here comes Canton the other direction into the attack zone. That moved over out of bounds. That goes over to Pioneer as Porco couldn't just hang on to it as it was tipped away. Here comes Pioneer quickly ahead with it as that's raked up. Here comes Suter. Suter has it knocked away. Now popped up Pioneer. Suter gets it back on the numbers on the far wing. Suter spins with it. Suter flips it back. Now on the far wing, that raked up as that's Lucas Schaefer over to Armand Gago. 5 yards outside the attack zone between the hash marks. Armand Gago moves it over on the near wing over to Sayre. That knocked down, loose and raked up. Here comes Canton as Trantham has it. Coming down the far numbers, Trantham fires it ahead. That intercepted. Here comes Pioneer over midfield, racing ahead with it as that was August Gago. Lucas Schaefer skies that over to Armand Gago. Armand Gago on the far hash marks, slips it over to Suter on the near hash marks, about 5 yards outside the attack zone. 3:11 left to go. Pioneer down by one here in the fourth quarter. Armand Gago racing down the far hash marks, gets between the hash marks, flips it over to Suter, and off the tip of his cross. Suter gets it back. Suter on the numbers, about a yard outside the attack zone. Now Suter comes in. Suter flips that over as Heatley into the hash marks. Heatley with a shot, save, and now Suter with another shot, as that was a heck of a save by Newsome on a very good Heatley shot. Newsome got away, knocked it away. Suter picked up the rebound. Stays Pioneer ball as Lucas Schaefer has it. Rolling all the way over. That's going to be over and back. That will be Canton ball. As they have the 1-goal lead, 2:33 left to go. Krova has it coming down the far hash marks. Krova into the attack zone outside the numbers. Krova fires it back behind at the Charles Salowich. Canton has a 1-goal lead and the ball on the Pioneer side of the field. As that's moved over, Nielsen with it, top of the attack zone. Now with it, Parker Salowich, about 7 yards outside of the attack zone. Armand Gago watching him. 2:04 left to go. Canton up by a goal. Now they move it, flipping it over. Now Krova has it. Inside the attack zone, Krova spinning between the hash marks. Krova being watched by August Gago. Krova fires it over on the far wing. As that's Schmoll with it. And fired, and that will be Pioneer ball. As racing ahead with it, Philip Schaefer fires it ahead. Now coming, here comes Pioneer as Armand Gago over midfield. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go. Pioneer needs a score. Armand Gago with a shot. Save by Newman. Firing it all the way back. That picked up Parker Salowich. Coming ahead with it. Timeout called by Canton as they have the ball and the lead 7-6 with 1 minute, 17 seconds left to go. Pioneer has had some good shots, but there's been fantastic goaltending all around. Newman has been very, very good. So has Denzen. I have a feeling like there's a couple players over doing the old Seinfeld Newman on the sideline. Let's play a quick message. Let's play push on really quickly. Get Pioneer fired up for the last 77 ticks of the clock in regulation. Well, the last game Pioneer played went to double overtime versus Divine Child. Pioneer's just trying to get it tied up now, but it is Canton ball with 1 minute, 17 seconds up on the clock. 77 ticks of the clock in regulation left. Canton with possession. Shikachi, August Gago, and Lucas Schaefer on the defensive side. Back there, McDaniel, as well as Rosenberg. As now the ball on the far sideline, about 7 yards outside of the attack zone. Racing down with the Canton with it on the far side. Parker Salowich has it back behind. 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go. Parker Salowich flips it over. Now that knocked down. Denzen rakes it up. Pioneer ball. 1 minute left to go. Pioneer down by one. Racing down the far sideline. That ahead is coming in with it. Here comes Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer with a shot and a score! Lucas Schaefer got the long bomb, came in, and did a bounce shot right in front of the goal line. Bounced up, and Newman can't believe it. He thought he had it, but a good, tricky shot. And Lucas Schaefer with his second goal of the game. Or excuse me, no, his third goal of the game. That's the hat trick for Lucas Schaefer. We're all knotted up. It's 7 apiece with 48.8 seconds left to go. Again, Pioneer went to overtime in their last game. They'd love to win this draw, and they'd love to win it in regulation. That ball loose, trying to get it. And still on the ground, trying to rake it up. Here comes Pioneer, knocked away, but a whistle. And that is going to be Pioneer ball. Timeout, Pioneer, as 39.8 seconds left to go. Pioneer has it and the ball. Well, what's next for this Canton team? We know Pioneer will be playing Salem tomorrow in this same athletic complex on the NFHS network. It is going to be Athens High School. That's going to be an away game. That will be Saturday for this Canton team over at Athens High School in Troy. Then on Wednesday, they will be playing at Belleville High School. That will be over at Belleville. And then they're finally back home on Friday the 15th. That is versus Farmington High School here at this field. Like I said, Pioneers game versus Salem tomorrow, and then back versus Huron. They'll be back home at Hallway Field on the, what is that? That is going to be the 16th. Yes, the 16th. Nope, sorry, I was looking at the wrong one there. So Pioneer, they play on the 7th, they play Salem. On the 13th, they play Skyline. That will be an away game. Again, they have the NFHS network as well. Then Pioneer will be back home on the 18th at Hallway Field. More important right now, 39.8 seconds left to go. Tie game. 7 apiece. Pioneer with it. Armand Gago just shy of midfield. Pioneer trying to win it in regulation. Canton would love to steal it and go the other way. Armand Gago goes over midfield. Armand Gago running down just outside the hash marks on the near wing. Steps into the attack zone. Flipped over to Heatley. Heatley between the hash marks. He had a great shot that had an even better save by Newman. Heatley racing down into the attack zone. Comes between. Heatley gets in. Heatley with a shot. Again, a save. That ball loose on the far side. And that is going to be Canton ball as they quickly flip it away. As Canton has it, 13.9 seconds left to go. Newman stole that shot away and raked it up, then fired it ahead. As it was a loose ball that Newman got now. I believe that's Krova who has it right at midfield. Indeed it is, with 13.9 seconds left to go. Well, are we destined for a second overtime game in a row? Will Canton be able to get this goal in here, or will Pioneer be able to steal it away? Waiting for the whistle. Now the officials get themselves. Trying to get the clock set properly. 17 seconds left up on the clock. 17 ticks away. Krova brings it ahead. Krova just outside the attack zone now. Krova cuts between the hash marks. Krova into the attack zone, comes over on the far wing. Krova firing it out in front as that goes back behind. Canton has it, trying to fire it out. That loose ground ball, trying to pick it up. That will do it. For regulation, we are headed to an overtime period. So we head into overtime here. All knotted up at 7 apiece. As Lucas Schaefer comes out. As he and Parker Salowich right at midfield with the coin toss. Canton won the coin toss, so they'll pick which way they're going. It's both teams getting last moment instructions up on the clock. 4-minute overtime. 1 timeout apiece in overtime, 4 minutes up on the clock. Sudden death overtime. So this face-off is absolutely huge. Canton has been on the winning side of more face-offs today so far, but Pioneer would love to get one here and make it a quick overtime session. Well, either team would love to score quickly, but is Pioneer looking to go from right to left here in this overtime period. As the long sticks head down to our left. McDaniel on the far wing, as he is joined over there by Porco. On the near wing is Rosenberg, as well as Badger. Azarovich in to take the draw, take the face-off versus Ayers. As that is raked up, as Azarovich has it, but a whistle and a timeout called by Canton. Well, let's play a quick message from the MHSAA.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Well, the Red Wings are up 1-0 on the Jets. That with 18:40 left to go in the first. The Red Wings score. Pioneer would like to follow suit, although they're going to have to separate Canton from the ball and get a big stop here on the defensive side first before they can try their own shot at scoring in this overtime period. It started off 2 goals for Pioneer in the first. Then there was 3 goals by Canton to follow that up to take the lead. Pioneer raced back and took the lead with 2 goals heading into halftime. Pioneer scored first in the third. Then it was a 4-goal run by Canton that put them up 7-2. In the fourth, it was 2 goals by Pioneer, Armand Gago and Lucas Schaefer tying it up, and now we are in the overtime period. Canton with possession, as that is Amos with it. About 7 yards outside of the attack zone between the hash marks. Amos comes racing in. McDaniel marks him. Amos steps into the attack zone, flips it over on the far wing, even with the goal line extended. Now that moved back over to Charlie Salowich. And prop back, Krova coming in. Krova back over to Charlie Salowich. Back behind, trying to fire it out in front. And ball loose. Ground ball raked up. Now it's still loose as it comes all the way over, racing for it as Krova trying to get it. And that out of bounds will stay Canton ball. As Pioneer tried to sweep it over midfield, get it back over to one of their players there, but it went out of bounds first, right in front of the Pioneer bench. 3:23 left to go. Krova has it coming down the numbers on the near wing. Krova steps into the attack zone. Now that flipped back over to Amos. Amos steps into the attack zone on the numbers on the far wing. That flipped over, back behind my Small. Now over to Charlie Salowich. Charlie Salowich over to Krova on the near wing, just above the goal line extended. Then all the way back into the midfield area. Coming up, Amos has it. Amos stutter steps, goes to the left. Trying to get it over to Mustang. There's a shot and a score as they win. That was Parker Salowich with the game-winning goal in overtime. Pioneer, a valiant attempt, but losing in overtime for the second game in a row, as they will have a chance to try and flip over and beat Salem. That will be tomorrow. That game is a 7:30 game over on the Westfield Turfs. Again, that one will be on the NFHS network. We will have the Pioneer women's game from Pioneer tomorrow as they take on, I believe it's Livonia Stevenson. I haven't memorized those rosters yet. That's what we'll do for home. So a Pioneer valiant attempt, battling a good Canton team at home, but they come up a goal short in the overtime period. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you for your support of either of these teams from wherever you are at. Thank you very, very much. We will be back live tomorrow. Have a fantastic rest of the night. And thank you, everyone.